Hey, what's going on, everybody? Today is Wednesday, November 12th, and we have a massive slate of games to look at here for the NBA for Fanduel. As normal, if you guys do enjoy the video, leave a like. I definitely do appreciate it, and thank you so much for the people that are leaving likes. And also hit that subscribe button. We do NBA Fanduel lineups almost every single day. Had a couple weeks off, but we're gonna, like I say, get back to it. So hit that subscribe button. Like I said, we're gonna be breaking down NBA FanDuel. We do DraftKings and Price Picks as well. And yeah, so last night was not too bad. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the video. A lot of really good plays in that video last night. Um, and so, like I said, hopefully, you guys benefited pretty well. So, this was premium last night for us. Just a reminder, it's only $6 for a day pass. You get two lineups provided to you guys. We also have a monthly pass for $30 as well, two lineups per day. And like I said, you can either do FanDuel or DraftKings. But yeah, this was last night for our premium subscribers. Like I said, at 359.6. We had Shea, Brunson, Mitchell, Smith, Hart, Towns, Flabowski, and Claxton. So one of our subs only put in 10, 1, 75 overall on this one. So as you can see, even in small tournaments, won $30 off $2. I mean, $20 off another $2. So like I said, not too bad last night. It would have took down probably the monster or very close to it. Here's another one from our subscribers. Put in 10, 198, and got one more for you guys. And this one actually shows the lineup. And like I said, definitely shout out to our subs. Another one of our subs won 200 last night on our premium lineup. So like I said, $6 a day. I mean, for a day pass. That's it, by the way, two lineups. Come join us for premium. But yeah, like I said, Shea 60.5, Brunson 47, Mitchell solid, Bailey did solid, Neesmith, Hart, Towns, Kyle Flabowski. Nobody had Kyle Flabowski and Claxton. So overall, it was a really, really, really good one for us. Like I said, our Twitter will be in the comment section below. Click that link right there in the comments. It's going to be blue, and it'll take you right to our Twitter. And then we also have our email. If you want to email us and message us to get in, we have our email down there below, and we'll get you guys all set up as well. So we have a ton of games, so we're not going to really dive into all these games too much. I'm just going to briefly go over them. And like I said, there's just so many of them. So Orlando and New York. So for me in this one, this is going to be a back-to-back here for New York. So we'll see what's going on. If Mitchell Robertson does play in this game at 4,300, I still don't mind him. But on such a big slate like this, he has limited upside because of his minutes. So I could see him getting 23, 24 in GPPs. But like I said, on a big slate like this, I'm looking for high upside. So Robertson's okay, but not the highest upside I'm looking for. Orlando's not the greatest against center, so that's kind of why I mentioned that. Um, New York struggles a little bit against the power forward position, so Paulo Banchero could be in a pretty good spot here. I really don't mind looking at him. And they also do struggle against the shooting guard position. New York does. So maybe Bain at 6,200. I just don't know how many of these guys I want. It's a back to back. Yeah, it's a relatively high total, but remember if you're going to have any of these guys, are going to be low owned as heck. But you need Bain to really pop off, but he's 6,200. But like I said, the Knicks do struggle against shooting guards and against three pointers. So I think you could really look at Bain and some GPPs here in this one. Move it over to the New York side. Towns is all right. Bronson's in another good spot. Orlando struggles against New York. I mean, sorry, struggles against point guard. So Bronson, Towns, Robertson, and GPPs, and then over on the other side, I'm looking at Bain and Paulo Banchero as my main guys. All right, Milwaukee and Charlotte in this one. So we really need to know what's going on with Giannis, and thankfully we should get that news relatively early on. The reason why I say that is because it's only a 4.5 spread against Charlotte Hornets that do not have Ball, do not have Miller, and Ryan Kalkbrenner just is downgraded to questionable. So yeah, 4.5 to me personally, that tells me that Giannis is not playing. There's no way in the world this should be that close. So let's go look at like I said, we're not going to look at a ton because it's going to be a ton. I mean, a really long video. But let's go look at the Charlotte defense because if Giannis isn't here, who's going to be able to attack? Boom, right here, center position. They suck. Charlotte sucks against center. So Miles Turner comes into play. Power forward position. That could be many of guys. That could be Kyle Kuzma. That could be Portis. You got small forward as well. Like all these guys should be able to have half decent games here. Ryan Rollins is even in a half decent spot. 3.4 3 pointers given up for Charlotte. this all depends on Giannis. If Giannis does play and he's healthy, this could be a smash spot because he's a power forward, and Charlotte, as you can see, sucks really bad. So it just depends on what's going on here. So I hate saying this, but if Giannis is out, I think Kyle Kuzma could come into play. I hate saying that, but he could come into play here, get you 25, 30 points if he has a good game because it's such an easy matchup for him on paper. But we know how Kuzma is. And then over here on the Charlotte side, Milwaukee struggles against power forwards as well and shooting guard small forwards. So Miles Bridges and Con Knuppel are going to be the two guys that I'm going to be looking at, and I really don't mind him. Knuppel's only 6,200, has 33 to 35, fancy points. Miles Bridges, another guy that could pop off here, and especially without Giannis. So we'll have to see. But I think the main guys I'll be looking at is Bridges, Con Knuppel, Giannis if he plays, Miles Turner 100%. If Giannis doesn't play, GPP, Kyle Kuzma, Bobby Portis. It just depends on who's going to get that starting spot as well. I would expect Portis to still come off the bench, but we'll have to see. But that's what we got going on. But yeah, Turner definitely going to be in play for sure. All right, Charlotte, Chicago, and Detroit. This is going to be a very interesting one here. We have to see. I think, goodness, once again, it's an early one, but there could be a ton of value opening up. Cade Cunningham and Durant, Jalen Durant are both questionable. I expect them to probably not play in this game. Uh, I mean, they could, but I wouldn't be surprised if they gave them a day off if it hasn't already been mentioned. But as this video, it is questionable. But as you see, nothing's going. They don't have a line for it because I'm pretty sure they're going to be out in this one. So if that is the case, then it changes things up massively here for Detroit. Let's see. Yeah, so Kate Cunningham, Jalen Duren not seen participating in shoot around Wednesday morning, so I'm pretty dang sure they're not going to play. So Danius Jenkins right here, this dude comes into play if he starts or comes off the bench. 24, 8 and 3, 4 steals. I think everyone's going to be on him. So Jenkins is in a really good spot. Another guy that could be all right maybe here is Karis LeVert. He hasn't really played a ton, but when he does play, he's half decent. If there's no Cade Cunningham and there's no Duran, that's like, 35, 40, 45% usage. Maybe LeVert gets you 24, 25 here. I just don't know. I don't know who's going to have the usage for this team because all these guys don't have high usage. Green's not a high usage guy. Holland's not. I mean, he'd probably be your highest usage guy. If Isaiah Stewart out and Jalen Duren are out, then Paul Reed 100% comes into play. I played him last time, and he had 24, only 13 minutes. But if Stewart and Duren are out, Stewart's doubtful in this one, then you gotta look. You have to look at Paul Reed. And the other guy that I really don't mind looking at is Bobby Klitman, if that's how you say it. But basically, he hasn't really played a lot, but Detroit doesn't have anything. So I wouldn't be surprised if he got a little bit of minutes. But I think the main guys that I mean, if those guys are out, I think Javonte Green's going to be your power forward. And I know that's not great, but who's going to rebound the ball? I mean, it's going to be Paul Reed and Javonte Green. I mean, Green's not a good player, but if all these guys are out, someone's got to have to rebound the ball. And Javonte Green's going to play massive, massive, massive minutes because he's just a role player. So I don't know. It's very interesting. So Levert, Green, definitely worth some looks in GPPs. Holland, but keep an eye on it. And then on the Chicago side, Giddy is still questionable. You can look at Trey Jones. Um, Detroit actually struggles really, really mightily, massively against centers. So you can look at Nikola Vukovic in this one, but he hasn't really done a lot. So this gets me to my GPP play of the day, everybody. All right, so this is a boomer bust right here. But as I mentioned, let's go look at it. Detroit sucks against centers, and if Jalen Duren is out, like Paul Reed is a massive, massive foul trouble guy. So, but yeah, as you see here, centers, right? 55% field goal percentage, 14.6 rebounds, ton of steals, ton of blocks. Do you know who that leads me to? All right, it's not Vukovic. Mr. Jalen Smith. I love this play today. $4,200, Jalen Smith. What? Why Jalen Smith? Look at his last two games, folks. Boom. 39 and 27. Look, I get he's not playing the biggest minutes, but if Jalen Smith can get me 17 to 20 minutes against a Jalen Duran less, a Stewart less, a Kate Cunningham less team, sign me up. Sign me the heck up. I'm all over Jalen Smith today. I really like that. It's Smith and Reed. If Durant's out, Reed's going to get ownership. Smith is going to be more of your GPP play. Paul Reed's still not going to play 25, 30 minutes. They just don't play him that much. But still, man, both those guys are in really dang good spots tonight. All right, we need to speed up a little bit. We're falling behind. Gosh, another one. I could see cash line being like 385 tonight. Like it's insane. Another one, Cleveland, Miami. I really like the Miami side. I think Ware's in a good spot. Wiggins again. Jaime Yaquez. All three of those guys are in good spots. And Norman Powell. Over here on the Cleveland side, Mitchell is out, and also Evan Mobley is out. So yeah, got quite a bit going on. We'll have to see who starts. If Lonzo Ball starts, I do like Craig Porter coming off the bench in GPPs. If Craig Porter starts, I do like Craig Porter. Sam Merrill will be shooting the ball a ton, so I can see him getting near 24 to 26 fantasy points. But honestly, they just don't have anyone. Cleveland, I mean, you got DeAndre Hunter, he's going to be the main one to look at, and you're going to want him in all your lineups for the most part. And then you got Jared Allen. Allen really pissed me off last time, and he had 20 minutes played, and he had 25 fantasy points. So I don't know. They're really limiting his minutes. So yeah, it looks like a smash spot here on paper, but who says that they don't limit Allen to 20, 23 minutes again and just play him for the first half? I mean, they don't have bigs, right? Who cares? I don't know. I'm just a little weary about Allen. If Larry Nance plays, I think that helps out. I mean, shoot, if you think Allen's going to only play 20, 23 minutes again, you could look at Thomas Bronson out in some GPPs. But that's deep, deep, deep. And like I said, you already have those other guys that are cheaper. So all right, Memphis and Boston in this one. Memphis really struggles against point guards and shooting guards. It is a back-to-back here for Boston, but Derek White and Peyton Pritchard definitely come into play for me. I had Peyton Pritchard yesterday, and the dude absolutely sucked hard. So hopefully it's a bounce back here for Peyton Pritchard because he just sucked. Last two games have been absolutely horrendous for this dude. But on paper, it's a good matchup for Peyton Pritchard. Let's go look at it just real quick here. But yeah, point guard, shooting guard, whatever you want to call Peyton Pritchard, they really struggle. Memphis does, and look at this: 3.7 and 3.8 3-pointers made. This is crazy right here. So guys like Simons, Derek White, and Peyton Pritchard all come into play because I mean Memphis sucks against giving up 3-pointers. So definitely got to look at those guys. Jaylen Brown comes into play again, but the main guys I'd be looking at is Pritchard and Simons and Derek White. Over here on the Memphis side, Boston does struggle against power forwards, and that's the only spot they really struggle. So you can look at Santa Almeida again, but for the most part, not really feeling any of those guys. Briefly going to go through this one. Washington, Houston, nothing comes to my mind. I don't care for it. Houston has an easy matchup. So on paper, but there's so many games out here that I think these guys go overlooked. I just don't need any of them. Golden State, San Antonio, we'll have to see if they rest. Golden State rest any of their guys. It is a back-to-back. They got killed by the Thunder last night, so we'll have to see if they do anything. The one spot that Golden State really struggles is the center position, and who's at the center position tonight? Victor. Going up against a Golden State team that's on a back-to-back that just took on Shea Gilgeous. Now they're going to take on Victor. Yeah, so Victor, I think you're easily going to be able to get him in there tonight. I'm only concerned about the blowout, but hopefully he can get there before then. And also, Golden State struggles a little bit against the point guard position. So De'Aaron Fox, but he's $7,800. But they do suck really bad. But with the potential blowout / resting, I don't know how many San Antonio guys I want. All right, moving on to Portland and New Orleans in this one. Another potential blowout. New Orleans really sucks on the defense. Portland hasn't really been the greatest defense. They've been middle of the road. We have a 229, 8.5 here. So, but yeah, New Orleans struggles everywhere at every position. They really struggle against 3-pointers. And so guys like Drew Holiday, Sharp are going to be in really good spots today. Let's go check it out for you guys real quick. Point guard, small forward, shooting guard. Like I said, look at the 3-pointers. 3.8, 3.1, 3.8. They struggle against centers. You know, you got Klingman down there. Look at that, 63% field goal percentage to centers. That's freaking insane. That is one of the worst in